Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. I thought I would do a quick video just reminding all of you exactly which pieces I still have available for the Watch Trade Challenge. I currently have 3 watches that you can choose from if you're interested in trading me for these, and they can be traded individually or paired up if there's a couple of them you like. So tonight I'll just be flipping the camera around, getting a close-up of each of these watches and a quick wrist shot, just so you know what's still available at the time of the recording of this video. And as always, my email address will be in the description below. If you're interested in one of these, just shoot me an email and send me some pictures and whatever information you have on watches you would like to trade for them. Alright, with all of that being said, let's flip the camera around. Okay, so the first watch that I have up for trade is my Tudor Explorer Homage. It does have oversized indicators on there. I think these are the ones used for the larger variant of this watch. This is the 36mm one, but they don't look terrible. This is a pretty solid feeling watch. And what I really like about it is the toolless micro adjustment. So if we open this up, right here, you can pop this out and slide it along here, and then pop it back in, lock it back into place. And it seems to slide pretty well. I think some of these pieces are kind of rough there. I believe I've heard about that. But this is such a great detail to have on your clasp, especially if you're taking this on vacation or something like that, where you may have really warm weather or really cold weather, and you need to adjust it due to wrist swelling or shrinkage. It's just kind of handy. And I feel like more clasps should have that. It's just amazing. I like how this has the fold over, extra safety there. It is a wide clasp because of that adjustment in there, but when I've worn this watch, it hasn't been terribly bothersome. And I believe I have the extra links in its box. If you're interested in this watch, I will definitely confirm that for you, because this is adjusted to fit my 7-inch wrist. And where is my micro adjustment? I think it's all the way out. Yeah, so if you have a wrist that's smaller than 7 inches, you could just slide this in and it should fit okay without having to touch any extra links. If you have a larger wrist, then you'll probably want to add a link or two. But it's performing well. It has a screw-in crown. Let me get the hands out of the way. I forget exactly what its water resistance is. I want to say 200 meters. 100 meters. So if you're swimming on vacation, this should be fine. If you're up near the surface, probably just don't want to go super deep. But this bracelet is really nice feeling. It feels high quality and it doesn't pull arm hair or anything like that. It's not overly loud. This is a pretty good watch, but I already have 2 Explorer Homages, so I figure maybe I'll offer up my 3rd one for trade. Next up we have a Dan Henry. And this is a brilliant looking watch. The only problem with this watch is I don't have the extra links for it. This is kind of loose on my wrist. Again, I have a 7-inch wrist. But the micro adjustment is all the way out. So if you have a larger wrist, I'm not sure this will fit you. But it's a great looking watch. If you haven't had a Dan Henry or experienced one, they're pretty decent watches. I actually own another Dan Henry, the one that I have on a bund strap. I like the reverse panda dial on this, and the crystal. I think this is a protective coated mineral, like it's sapphire coated mineral, something like that. But it has a great aesthetic to it. The clasp on here is pretty cool. It has the button on the side. And the matte finishing on here looks great. It has one micro adjustment. However, these links are pretty small, so they're almost like micro adjustments in and of themselves. And there's a few left on here that can be removed if you have a smaller wrist. The etching on the back is great. And this is a limited edition, apparently. Yeah, great looking chronograph. This is a quartz piece, as you can see down in that subdial. And lastly, this one is tough to capture on film, on video. I have the super unique Rico watch. This is the only one of its kind that I've ever found, and I have a search for it out on eBay. Let me try turning a light. See if we can capture this a little better. Not much. Yeah, you pretty much have to have it like facing the light to be able to see it, and then it's all washed out by the light. But this is a really cool piece, and I think that seconds hand hits all the markers every time. I believe the movement in this is pretty decent. And this has kind of like a dark gunmetal coloring to the metal. And in the last video that featured this, one of you called out what that metal might be, but I don't recall offhand what it was. This has a sapphire crystal, a little faux jewel in the crown there, and it's a nice classy size. I just don't really wear it though, and I'd much rather see it go to one of you than to sell it for less than it should go for to a stranger. So I thought maybe I'd offer it up for trade, see if one of you wants it. It's super thin as well. Yeah, look at that. It's a great piece. And here is the to sell on my 7-inch wrist. 55 millimeters wide. So see, that clasp is pretty wide, but it doesn't affect how it wears. That glossy dial is pretty cool. Yeah, that looks great. And here is the Dan Henry. It's a little bit loose on my wrist, as you can see there. So yeah, if your wrist is a little bit larger than mine, this will already fit you perfectly. I actually like this bracelet on it. It seems to fit the aesthetic pretty well. And it's in good shape. A little bit of micro scratches on the clasp, but that's about it. And last but not least, the Rico. That looks so cool. And I have a matte buckle because I thought that kind of fit the aesthetic. And I have this on a shell Cordovan strap. I think this is one of my Rios straps. Nice vintage sizing. Look at how thin it is on the wrist. Yeah, I'm not sure why I don't wear this. It's such a brilliant watch. I think when I'm in the mood for this, I end up grabbing the Dolce Vita after a while, or something similar. Yeah, great watch. So there you have it, a couple Thule watches and a super unique dress watch, all available for trade if you have something you would like to swap for them. Thanks for watching.